What are you feeling right now, my friend?
Like normal fights. I like to be in the cage more than outside, so it was fun. Last minute, get some punches. Be happy.
There is a new UFC middleweight champion. His name, Khamzat Chimaev. One of the most dominant performances that we've ever seen in a UFC title fight ever. He beats Dricus Du Plessis.
I'm not making it up! I'm not making it up! I'm not making this shit up! They avoid combat at all costs! You are a human! Get out of this combat sport! Ah! Chimaev landed a shot that looked like it could have hurt! Chimaev landed a punch that maybe could have caused damage to his opponent. Ah! He did it again! That actually might have hurt Dricus! There might be a chance that Dricus winced at that shot. What are we doing, dude? We can't put this on Paramount. We can't put this on Paramount. Cancel the deal.
Dricus gets on top. Dricus is in mount. Dricus is in mount. Oh my God. No. Dricus has to choke. No. Dude, Dricus, do something, brother. You got 10 seconds left. So Dricus tends to use explosive leg, heels to the floor, sit up, torso kind of get-ups. These require a lot of energy and they create a lot of motion, and it's a big problem. But if I'm Dricus, I'm just hanging out. Yeah, all right, so Khamzat Chimaev is your new champion. Bro, I have so much to say on the post-fight show. I have so much to say about that performance. I have so much to say about that.
Big kick from Dricus. Chimaev shoots in and gets it. Ah, it's over, chat. He got the body lock again. He avoided combat again. Back to his position against the cage, holding another man up against the cage and knee in the thigh. Oh no, dude. What's Chimaev? Dude, 5 seconds left. Anything could happen. Ah! No, nothing happened because it's a f***ing Chimaev fight.
That dominance was insane by Khamzat. The boogeyman becomes the champion.
Yeah. 50-44 on all three judges' scorecards. It goes the distance. And the best way to describe this fight, in my opinion, was domination. Absolute, total domination. Just listen very quickly to some of these numbers here. Khamzat Chimaev landed 510 strikes, according to ESPN's Fight Center. 510 strikes in this 5-round fight.
Deixa taas na uusvakan, ja meillä. Essa tyni que kudu meille asia. En galle asia dos, se saa isa galo no. Niin takaa su chipio niin. Até o dedo agora só que I think got that alone. Hopefully, yeah, well.
I get like 2 more and then
chega a dedo lá, cego. Vai vir mais amiga ligou uma dedo.
Khamzat Chimaev brushed off all the pre-fight chatter, saying that at the end of the day, it all comes down to what happens inside the octagon. His mindset was simple: defeat Dricus Du Plessis, collect the paycheck, and head back home.
All the fighters talk, but nothing is gonna change here. Everyone has to fight in the cage anyway, so whatever he says, I don't care about. So I'm come here and to beat him up and take my money and go home.
Dricus Du Plessis responded by saying that while Khamzat Chimaev might be convinced is destined to be champion, he's there to prove otherwise. According to Du Plessis, as long as he holds the belt, Chimaev won't be taking it. He admitted that experiencing his first defeat was tough, but also pointed out that those moments are what truly test and build a fighter's character.
Khamzat's kind of shut down the activity rumors. He says, look, if I win this fight, I would like to fight in Abu Dhabi, but say it doesn't go his way. Do you think that his activity slows down and we don't see him again for a long time?
That's a very good question. There's no way. Abu Dhabi is like in October, right? No, that's not happening. Yeah, I think after Saturday night, it's going to be time to go and maybe do some introspection, saying, okay, how are we approaching this? Because I don't know where he's at on a mental level. You know, he's so certain that he's becoming world champion, and I'm here to say no. There's no way you're becoming world champion while I'm the champion. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it's always I've tasted my first loss. I know what it feels like. It sucks. It really sucks. But that's where character comes in. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets up from this.
Paulo Costa made it clear he wasn't exactly cheering for Dricus Du Plessis, but he still predicted that DDP would come out on top. Costa explained that Chimaev hadn't yet dealt with someone as physically strong and defensively sound as Du Plessis, which could pose real problems. He added that if Du Plessis pushed a high pace in the opening rounds, there was a good chance Chimaev's gas tank could empty, giving DDP the edge.
Who do you got in the DDP Chimaev fight? Do you think are you rooting for DDP then, or?
No, I don't root for DDP. You know, I just think DDP gonna beat him because he never fought a strong guy like with a good defense, and we're gonna bring a very tough moment for him. You know,
right?
If DDP just bring this fight for the second round, Chimaev gonna beat.
Oh, he'll be gassed out.
Yeah,
so you got DDP.
Alexander Volkanovski shared that he was leaning toward the underdog, Du Plessis, in the headline bout. He described it as a thrilling matchup and said his pick came from what he'd seen so far. Volkanovski added that he enjoys fights where the outcome is hard to predict, since those moments showcase a fighter's adaptability and ability to surprise, something he believes lies at the heart of MMA.
Co-main and the main event here of Dricus Du Plessis. I'm going with the underdog. $2.65 here on Sportsbet. Incredible fight this one's going to be. I'm interested to see. Like, again, the thing is, just so you guys know, when I'm wrong, say if the fight goes completely different to the way I say, I love that. Remember, I'm going from what I've seen. If they can completely change it and show me something I haven't seen, or be, you know, show me something that I wasn't expecting, I love that. Let's see if it happens. That's what's exciting about it. It's exciting even me thinking how it's going to go. That's how I think it's going to be. That excites me. If they are able to change it up and do different things, yes, love it.
He went on to say he was curious whether Khamzat Chimaev might adjust his strategy, perhaps leaning more on his striking to conserve energy, or sticking with his trademark pressure-heavy style. Volkanovski wondered if Chimaev could truly stick to a new approach when his natural instincts might push him back toward his usual aggressive game, leaving fans eager to see which version of him would show up on fight night.
Let's see if Chimaev changes his game a little bit. Let's see if he goes a Khabib route, what he said. Focus more on the striking so he doesn't gas too early. Or does he go powerhouse and come in aggressive? Let me know what you guys think is going to be his strategy. Can he change it? Or if his game plan is to change it, can his instincts let him do that? I don't know.
Michael Venom Page admitted he couldn't quite figure out how Dricus Du Plessis had managed to reach this level, noting that his style often looks unpredictable, almost like a less experienced fighter throwing unorthodox techniques that somehow connect. Still, he credited Du Plessis for consistently finding a way to win. Page added that if DDP managed to defeat Khamzat Chimaev, he'd never doubt him again, regardless of who he faced in the future.
Talk to me about that main event, DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev.
I just don't get why Du Plessis has achieved so much, because and again, I say it sounds like, I keep saying it. Sometimes you can spar some, like new guys in the gym, just like they don't have the experience, but they hit you because they do some crazy stuff. They can wing their hands and just do random stuff and it lands because it's not a conventional punch or it's not a conventional kick. That's what Du Plessis represents for me, but at the highest level. But one thing he does exceptionally well is he knows how to grind out a win. He seems to find his way to success. I'm telling everybody, this will be the last time I bet against him. If he beats Khamzat, I'm never betting against him ever again. I'm literally ever again. I don't care if you lot are telling me he's going to be fighting John Jones.
John Jones characterized the clash between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis as a high-stakes battle featuring two of the sport's most dangerous contenders. He recalled how Chimaev had once labeled him the scariest fighter in MMA, a remark Jones took as a genuine sign of respect and sportsmanship, even though his own reputation often carries an intimidating edge.
Khamzat Chimaev said that you are the scariest guy in MMA.
That's a huge compliment coming from Khamzat. I'm a big fan of Khamzat. I don't think he has any reason to toot my horn or to even be humble. He doesn't have to be. I mean, heavyweights fear him, and the fact that he has so much respect for me really means a lot. It shows me a lot about his character, his humility to be able to compliment someone in such a huge way. So I'm very grateful and honored.
Jones mentioned that he plans to watch the fight without picking sides, focusing instead on appreciating the skill and performance on display. He added that his hope is for both men to continue thriving in their careers and to build lasting success within the sport.
Will you watch his fight against DDP?
Absolutely. I absolutely watch this fight. I'm not rooting for anyone. I'm just a big fan of martial arts. I want to see them both go on and have long, prosperous MMA careers. I will watch the fight for sure.
But you cannot say who is the favorite, right?
No, I don't really have a favorite. I just enjoy the sport. May the best man win. I hope they both have great careers.
Tom Aspinall admitted he would never underestimate Dricus Du Plessis again, praising his ability to consistently find a path to victory. At the same time, he acknowledged that Khamzat Chimaev is a formidable opponent. Aspinall pointed out that if Chimaev regained control and returned to his usual takedown to submission rhythm, it could create serious challenges and make the outcome difficult to predict.
Tom, how do you see the fight going?
I will never ever think that DDP is going to lose again. He just finds a way to win. Against Khamzat Chimaev though, someone that I've shared a card with a couple of times, Khamzat Chimaev is an absolute beast, man. If he can get that back control and start that cycle that he does, of dragging guys to the ground, going for the submission. So mate, the answer is, I don't.
George St. Pierre noted that an early finish would likely favor Khamzat Chimaev, given his explosive starts. However, if the fight stretched into the later rounds, Dricus Du Plessis' endurance, finishing ability, and overall athleticism could shift the balance, turning it into a matchup that could realistically go either way.
Tell me your pick right off the bat. Tell me who you think is going to win.
Look, I think if it's an early stoppage, it has more chance to favor Chimaev because he's a very strong starter. But Dricus Du Plessis is a very good finisher. He's very good at the end in the deep waters, and he's very athletic. So if it goes later in a decision, it might go the other way. So it could go both sides.
Randy Jackson admitted it was difficult to pick against anyone coming out of his camp, seeing how dominant Khamzat Chimaev always appears in his fights. Jackson chose him as the likely winner and even predicted the bout would be decided around the third round.
Khamzat, yeah, so you said he's looking good. He's also training with Sam Calavita, TJ Dillashaw's old trainer. He's training here, fighting Dricus, who's been a great champion so far. So what do you make of that matchup?
It's hard for me to go against anybody that's training at Jackson. You got to. Khamzat, he's always been a beast every time I've seen him fight. So I'm going to go with Khamzat. I think he's going to take it.
Which round?
I'm thinking around the third round. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Brennan Schwab described Dricus Du Plessis as one of the toughest competitors the UFC has ever seen. He emphasized that anyone paying attention would know never to bet against him. Schwab imagined a scenario where Khamzat Chimaev starts aggressively, controls the first 2 rounds with takedowns and back control, but still struggles to finish Du Plessis.